always be growing. This is a concept I've thought about a lot recently because, as someone who is an aspiring content creator, there are so many things that I must constantly think about and be learning and working on in the improvement of myself to have the very multi talented skill set that is required to do this job effectively. But I want to talk about the concept of growth, why we always need to do it, why it's so important for us, and also how to not fall into traps which ruin our enjoyment of this growth and ironically make us regress. So, the first thing I want to get out of the way immediately is that the commercial benefits, the business career benefits of always, studying a new skill, working on learning and implementation of this, even in unexpected ways. I think the benefit there is obvious. It's pretty easy to understand. The more skills you know, the more useful you are, the more jobs and opportunities you can find, and be better equipped to excel in and do well. That all is obvious, but in a society where we try to over commercialize everything and not focus on just enjoying the life that we live and existing in it, always trying to see how we can squeeze a penny out of something instead. I think it's important to give some space to the concept of always growing, even when that is not something monetarily beneficial to you, because what I want to present today is the idea that even when it's not monetarily beneficial, in fact, it may even be a monetary detraction. It may cost money to invest in these activities at first and over time. But I want to explain why I think that is worth it, why I think it's okay, and why I think it is even necessary for our fulfillment in this life. So, as we know, many people, and possibly even you coming across this video, consume so much content every day. We consume advertisements that we're forced to listen to. We consume radio music we are forced to listen to as we work in or enter a store. We're forced to consume with our eyes sale signs, billboard advertisements on a work commute, advertisements and influencers trying to make us get on board with, advertisements between TV programs. It is inescapable that we are pushed at least in the modern West, in every way, shape, and form, to always be consuming something else, digesting something that someone else has created, and at the expense of the creation that is necessary for us to do ourselves, the growth that we ourselves also need to do, because it is so easy when we're tailored to scroll through feeds for 3 hours, not noticing how much time has passed, to be sad, be dissatisfied with our lives, wonder where we're going, be envious of people who are executing those skills and those activities that we want to do, but don't find the energy or will to stop the activity of scrolling our phone, of putting on that program while we lay on the couch, and actually getting and appropriating those things for ourselves. So, how do we change that? And I think the answer actually is not that difficult. It is just that to stop the rotting of your brain and your mind and your hands and everything that allows you to act and to create and to make something that is you and make something that is special and give you fulfillment and enjoyment out of the activities you do in life, instead of wasting it away shriveling into a husk in your bed or in your computer chair. To do this requires a commitment. It requires saying that you are going to do this thing. And that is immediately where we run into problems. We've done a Mel's Musings before about not caring what other people think, because they truly don't. They're not watching you. They're not paying attention to what you're doing. And they really don't care. So removing all of the mental blocks and inhibitions that this scrolling media tries to set up and create for us, make us think, oh, well, wait, it's hopeless for me, so I, should never do these things. We make all these comparisons and contests with other people having imaginary battles that don't exist and conflicts as well, instead of just looking at what we actually want, looking at the creative in our hearts and listening to what it's telling us. Listening to what it's telling us and taking the first steps in making that a reality. As I mentioned in, I think it was actually that exact video, I've two friends who, one was an artist and picked it back up, and one is a starting artist. And both of them, not to contradict what I said earlier about commercialization, but they have been very monetarily successful already after not very long working on it. In the grand scheme of things, many professional artists have like 10 to 12 years digital experience. So relative to that, they're doing an incredible job, and all it took was for them to just pick it up and go and not worry about the how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to, I can't do this. I'm not good enough for this. There's this different artists, they do these amazing things. I'm never going to measure up to that. There is nobody who is measuring that except for you. And there is nobody who is going to criticize and say that your thing does not have value except for you. And that's the thing. What you create does have value because you made it. You put, to whatever extent you did, some portion of you into that work that you did. Whether it's your first box that you made in carpentry, whether it is that first fish you caught in fishing, like we're doing right now in game. It doesn't matter what the activity is. It doesn't matter what the activity ultimately gets you. The fact that you are actively participating in our creation and you are putting some semblance of yourself into the thing that you are doing, into the skill that you are doing, the thing that you are creating. It doesn't matter if the thing at the end of that doesn't look the prettiest. It doesn't matter if it's not something that's going to make you money doing. None of that matters, because what matters is that you are stimulating yourself, you're engaging yourself in a way that is not depressive to your dopamine receptors or to your perception of the reality in which we exist. All the obsessive gooning, all the doom scrolls, the horrific news we hear on the media every single day by design. All of that are things, designed to reinforce those exact things that I just said. Those things that are keeping you down, preventing you from believing that you have the intrinsic human value that each of us share and what we can achieve with that. That is what all of that is trying to strip away from you. And every time you engage and engage and engage with it, it is going to strip more and more of it away and make it harder for you to begin to take that initiative and say, I made this, and enjoy that process. Enjoying the joy of creation instead of worrying about what comes out on the other side. Because when you love that process, you will love the things that you do. And when you engage with it, you will start to unlock the potential and creativity and joy of life that you've sealed away by just consuming the products and longing for the things that the people who are already doing this have. Because you will have that in whatever meaningful extent makes you happy. If that is the thing that you are pursuing, if you are pursuing growing yourself, that is what you will get. So how do you do this? How do you start to achieve? And again, I already mentioned that just picking anything and starting with it allows you to begin initiating that process so that even if it's not something you necessarily enjoy, well, you certainly don't enjoy anything you're doing right now. If you're in the spot where you've been rotting away, you're certainly not having fun or enjoying the things that you are doing in the first place. So even if you don't enjoy this new thing, it's going to start equipping you with the tools to be able to participate in the thing you do want to do, you do want to enjoy, if you don't know what that is. If you already know what it is, that is great, because now you can just start with it right away. How do you adjust this consumption, the vicious cycle of social media, which is designed to entrap you in a perpetual state of rotting? What can you do about that? Well, the first thing is to, again, same idea, start creating. You need to start producing things in your life, no matter what it is, whether it's producing some language learning that you're doing, fishing, any type of craft or trade, fishing, cooking, woodwork, painting. It doesn't matter what it is. Just something, even if you are playing a game in a way that is meaningful and not just trying to kill your time away and rot away with it. If you were doing a game in a meaningful way, like building, say, community, or like enjoying the strategy of the game, thinking, getting creative with and interacting with what that game is offering to you. Even playing games can, give this to you. I'm not just saying like, touch grass, go outside, although that is something that definitely needs to happen to some extent. Even the activities that you do can be transformed to fit this growth mentality and mindset, because let me think, when you I'm sorry, I lost the thought. So, doing this though, right? It's the type of content you consume. So, we do need to create more and consume less. That's the first thing you need to do. But second is you change what you are consuming. It's kind of like right eating. If you consume food, you get the calories, you get the sustenance you need to go through the day. So you're always going to consume to some extent, and it's unreasonable to expect that you are only going to create. It's even bad to only create, because it is important to consume as well, so that you are inspired by the creativity and beauty of others and the things that they can motivate you to do. But obviously, we have the proportions completely thrown off and disrupted in our society. So, to create more, an important thing is changing that diet of consumption. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, when I consume content, the types of content that I would contribute to, like, the slot maxing or brain rotted content, things like this, I deliberately go out of my way to avoid, because I understand the temptation. It's just like fast food. It's right there. It's easy for you to get, and you get a quick little attention fix off of it because it's, it's visually stimulating. It's designed to be that way. And they've certainly edited the video well to accentuate those things to keep your attention. But I think one of the big things you can do to kind of catch yourself, and I've done this myself, to catch yourself and say, what the heck is this video actually doing for me? Am I just totally wasting my time? Is to stop at pay actual attention to the video. Don't just let it be complete, utter background noise, but pay even just a little attention to the video and think about what is being said, and think, does this have any relevance to me whatsoever? Do I care about this? In a week, is this going to have any value to me whatsoever? And if the answer is no, you need to seriously consider if the video you're watching is worth your time. Because if it's not, there are so many other types of content that consuming can be directly beneficial to your creation, to your growth. Tutorial videos, guides, analysis of other people's creation, breaking down, for example, like let's say a show is really good and your thing is writing. Well, if you want to be a good writer, you want to learn how the best people have done it. And so the people making the analysis videos are presenting their conclusions from studying the media. So by listening to that video, for example, you are now getting someone else's conclusions, an outsider perspective who has worked hard to organize and construct those thoughts. And you, as the writer, also get your perspective from consuming the source material. You put this all together, you've probably learned a thing or two about what makes a beautiful story or a great scene in, let's say, film. You want to do film? You want to, like, start making short films? There you go. Those are direct things that you can learn, think about, digest, and then apply to your growth, to your creation, to the thing that you want to do, that you enjoy and love. Because we think about it in such a dichotomy that it's like, I either want this as my job, like this either needs to be my job, or it's something I'll do if I ever get some time. And that's the killer part, is you assume that you don't need to make time to grow, because you do, you absolutely do. Because as we mentioned, the world in which we currently live and exist in the modern West is one that does not want you to grow. It wants you to fit yourself into a small box that is convenient for the machine to run. And to some extent, potentially even to a large extent, when it comes to your work, you may have to do this, at least for a long period of time. Maybe not forever. Maybe your growth will actually grow into getting you a dream job, and that'll be perfect. That's all the more reason to do it. But for a lot of people, the reality is you need to get the income thing, and then you need to get the joy thing that is entirely separated from that and away from that. And it's discouraging because the box that they put us into incentivizes us to not grow, to not make those pushes for ourselves. But the thing is that nobody else will. Nobody is looking out for you to grow. You're very fortunate if you have multiple people in your life outside of your family, and in many cases even within your family, that truly want to see you grow and also support the way that you have personally designated that you want to grow. You know that better than anyone, but nobody is going to do that except for you. Even they can only support it. They can never truly make it happen. So you need to understand that, and understand that you are the person that can always be growing. If you separate it from the circumstances in your life, like our Stop Making Excuses video, which you can check out after this, you separate those circumstances and understand, I need to grow. I need to stop rotting myself. This is why I'm miserable, and this is why I feel like I'm at a dead end, and nothing is joyous to me in life. And I'm not doing anything I love, and I'm bitter about the people who are. If you want to change that, you need to start the growth, and you need to continue to do it as well. Never stop, and always keep going, because you will be amazed at what a little concentrated effort in time, even if it's just a little bit each day, 5 minutes each day, if you do every day, you will suddenly realize, I can do this for more than 5 minutes. Oh, this is easy. Let me make it 10, maybe make it 15 today. By the time you commit 15 minutes a day, you can make meaningful progress in most fields that you're doing every single day. So make it happen. Start growing, start creating, and start participating in showing the world who you are. I've been Mel. Thanks for watching.